Ebola and other race-specific bioweapons, and they have the doctors that did it, the heads of Project Coast, on there doing the interview. This is completely declassified. But I'm sick of hundreds of publications, CBS News, MSNBC, Salon, Raw Story, all of them. That's right, 60 Minutes even did a piece on it. Dr. Death and his accomplice. But let's go ahead and play this clip dealing with weaponized viruses and bacteria for black people. So let's just get this out in the open. This is going on. Here it is.
Larry was a wonderful fellow, mad as a hatter. He used to rock up in South Africa, having flown intercontinental flights with a trousers pocket full of goodies in sealed vials that he claimed were new and wonderful organisms and could do the most wonderful things on Earth.
Larry Ford had mutated cholera, typhoid, anthrax, botulism, bubonic plague, and had also come up with germs that he called kaffir-killing germs. Kaffir, as you may know, in Afrikaans, is the equivalent of the N-word. So these were germs that were specifically engineered to kill only black people.
In other words, an ethnic biological weapon. Had Project Coast really gone this far?
From the beginning, this idea of can we find a way to control the size of the black population was considered one of the most important areas of research. It got even more important over time as the size of the black population and the seriousness of the uprisings increased. So that's one reason why they got into genetic modification, research into is there a way to have contraceptives.
Oh yeah, let's play that part.
Somehow basically sterilize blacks without them knowing it, and kind of all kinds of what at the time, or in hindsight, seemed like pretty far out research.
There was some talk about an ethnic weapon Project Coast working on that was, quote, Black Bomb.
That was great, yeah. That was the most fun I've had in my life. That whole episode of the ethnic weapon was very well set out in court, in the court papers. What happened is we had the objective to synthesize a certain protein that was in sperm for contraceptive purposes. The objective was that if you could immunize a woman against sperm, then you would make her infertile. We were asked to do this by another country who had a population explosion problem as part of exchange of technology. They were giving us other stuff.
That's right, and you can go read those court documents. It's been in the BBC, it's been in Der Spiegel, it's mainly been in European papers and South African, but I remember watching hearings on it in Congress back in the mid-90s on C-SPAN. But it was Israel, the U.S., China was looking at it. Israel wanted to use it on the Arabs. The problem was about a third of the folks living in Israel are Arab Jews, or what you'd call actual precursor original Jews, you know, from Abraham and Isaac and all the rest of it that goes back to the same people. And so they had to back off of that because it had killed a third of the Jews in Israel. But this is all the type of stuff that's going on. Wouldn't kill Ashkenazi Jews, but it would have killed the Sephardic Jews. People like my late friend Aaron Russo, it'd kill him deader than a hammer. So when you say anti-Semitic, you can actually say it means being anti-Arab or anti-Jew, because that's where those folks come from. Now, the European derivation, and if you get into all that research, they'd have been just fine. The problem is so many of them have intermarried with Sephardic Jews, or what you'd call the original 12 tribes, I guess, that it would wipe those folks out. See, that's the problem with a race-specific bioweapon, because, yeah, you can create Ebola that'll kill 70, 90% of the black people, but it'll kill 23% of white people. See, we're too similar. But don't worry, they've gotten so much more high-tech now that they're working on that problem. They're working on that problem. And they put fluoride in everybody's water. They feed GMO to the white kids as well. The globalists can just get away with wiping out Africa because the governments are so corrupt. It's been colonial forever. It never got its freedom. And they've already gotten away with so much that that's where they're testing everything. But I will assure all the liberal white yuppies that'll grab your shirt and say, you know what, there are too many black people. We need these abortuaries. I've had black and white liberals tell me that black people are bad, need to be gotten rid of. I've had black leaders on who said, yeah, of course, we've all heard that. That's the big, dirty, weird secret of the Democratic Party. Going back to Margaret Sanger recruiting blacks who would hate other blacks and help keep them down, dumb them down, steal their money, not get them funding. I mean, Al Sharpton's in the news, the FBI informant today, and Rangel and others saying it's, slavery, that if blacks vote Republican. No, the real slavery is that you think you own all the black people. And you won't tell them about race-specific bioweapons, Sharpton.
This hour of GCN brought to you by LeSig. Kick some ash with LeSig's high-quality e-cig kits and e-juices. Like us on Facebook for a 10% discount. Call 870-525-1440 or visit LeSig.com.
Hi, Ted Anderson with Midas Resources. Is it time to convert paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver yet? Get our 10 Reasons book free. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Are you happy doing your laundry with perfume detergents that irritate your skin? Are you happy washing your hands with stinking fragrances that gives your skin rashes? Are you happy paying new, higher prices for smaller boxes? Find your happiness today with our 1 to 4 year supply of pure soaps or our 1 to 2 month sampler with bar soap, shampoo, laundry, and dish soap at 5starsoap.com. You deserve the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com.
Hi, folks. Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his 2-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
Do you lay awake at night and worry about the health and safety of you and your loved ones? Do you wonder what would happen if you weren't able to get to a hospital or doctor? How can you keep your family safe against the deadly pathogens that are beginning to emerge in the world today? Give yourself peace of mind with Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver is turning heads around the world as a new weapon in the fight against bacteria, viruses, and fungus. Supernatural Silver can be taken internally or used topically to help the body's own immune system fight off disease much more effectively. Supernatural Silver has been tested at independent universities and laboratories around the world and has been proven to be safe and highly effective against some of the planet's deadliest pathogens. There is no better product to have in your home for daily use or emergency preparedness. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, use the code SILVER2014 for 20% off, and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
You're the pretender. What if I say I will never surrender? Speaking of protest music, I was talking to Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins fame this morning. He's got some new heavy songs coming out, and he's going to send them to us right before his album comes out. We're going to get to premiere some of them here. And on drums is Tommy Lee, so you know it's going to be good. Look for that coming up next week. And the reason that's important is there are so many people out there in Hollywood, rock stars, hip-hop, you name it, that are awake to what's going on, but so few, like Dave Mustaine or Billy Corrigan, have the courage to come out and speak out about it. The reason I mentioned that is I was just texting him during the break. There is so much election news to get to. I'll open the phones up. I promise I want to take your calls ahead of Dr. Joseph Mercola joining us. But when you heard me playing one of the top medical doctors in the government of South Africa, working with the U.S., China, Israel, and others to create race-specific bioweapons, you need to understand that this is very serious. And PNAC, back in 2000, the Project for American Century, chaired by Dick Cheney, put out a paper saying we should look at the development and use of these. That's all I'm trying to say is you can't trust the people on top of this medical system, not the average doctors or nurses. And the way to stop this type of tyranny is to not just shut up when they say shut up, is to not just be a coward when they're disappearing people out of the hospital. No, talk about it like the Border Patrol's done, reaching out to us, and doctors have reached out to us. And then we report it, and millions find out about it, but everybody else doesn't because no one else will cover it. Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, DrudgeReport.com carried our story. And they had Democratic Party-run websites attack us and say the whack job Alex Jones and terms like that with thinly sourced articles claims people are disappearing. Really thinly sourced, the head of a hospital by name, naming the hospital where it happened. And then we're saying we have another medical doctor on record and a whole bunch more that don't want to be on air. And then the government's telling everybody shut up and don't talk about Ebola, and they're ordering millions of hazmat suits, and they're letting people with it travel around, and the border's open, and they're letting people fly in with it. I mean, something's obviously going on here. Let me tell you something. You're black and you get this, you got a 70% chance of coming up with X's in your eyes. And I'm sorry that your leadership's run by the eugenics operation, but so's all the, quote, leadership. I'm just so sick of being called racist because I don't want to kill all the black people, or I don't want to forcibly inject all the girls in Guatemala and Mexico and Nicaragua and El Salvador with HPV that's known to reduce fertility and attack the ovaries on record. You're not going to hear Mecha and La Raza because they're all on the globalist payroll. Look at their corporate funding. We don't have any of that corporate funding. They got 300, 400 corporate funders for groups that are like the Ku Klux Klan. Openly say, for our race, everything, for your race, nothing. We got the Democrats running around, the party of the Klan, saying it's racist if you don't vote Democrat. I mean, just what a joke. I'm going to cover that in the next hour ahead of your calls. Briefly, I'm taking my DNA force. My kids are taking their DNA force. This is what I believe is boosting my natural defenses the most. Go read the medical facts, the NutriMedical facts at InfoWarsLife.com. The actual patented facts on this, on a product where we can actually make claims, but I'm not going to make them on air. You go read what is on record, what they're patented, what they're proven to do, InfoWarsLife.com. The CoQ10, the BioPQQ, of the organic, super concentrated, NutriMedical level grade of that, and the secret sauce that comes in a week or two. I can't tell you what it is yet, but I'm taking it. And then we've got the Silver Bullet, InfoWarsLife.com, colloidal silver. And we've got the Nascent Iodine X2 that I believe, from my research, is just as important as colloidal silver. And then we've got Super Mel Vitality, and I mix this up and I drink it. And it is absolutely amazing. InfoWarsLife.com. Thank you all for your support. We'll be back second hour.
GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor just won't quit.
After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality.
Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.